Hi there. So today is Saturday, February 4th, and this is our creative week. Yes, we're back to filming on Saturdays because I am more or less reacclimated to being on the West Coast the East Coast instead of out in the desert. Um, yeah, it's taken me all week. I think, I hope, knock on wood, that I have gotten past all of the jet lag and all of that reacclimation. I don't know. I thought I was doing really great until yesterday, through yesterday, and then I just, needed a nap. But I don't know. Maybe my iron's low. Maybe I just need to go eat a steak. Yes, I know that's oversimplifying things. Don't come at me. No, we're not here to talk about stuff like that. We're here to talk about creativity and how it kind of helps us get through the week. So, I believe last week when I updated, I had not caught up with the art journal just yet. And so that's what we're going to start with. I think the last one I would have shown you was Skyline, because with travel and just being tired and work and all that stuff, I got behind, and so I hadn't done the last several days prompts. So I don't think I've shown you these yet. So I I I caught up, and some of them ended up getting combined as a process, but that's okay. So this is a combination of mail and breakfast. I mean, wouldn't you love to go out to your mailbox and find like a Bellini croissant and maybe a blueberry muffin? I mean, hopefully hermetically sealed or something. Not just sitting there collecting road dust, but you know what I mean? Wouldn't that be kind of a cool thing? Um, the next prompt, and this is a prompt on its own, was road. So just a little horizonscape, shall we say. The next prompt was collection. Now, most of you know, who, if you've been around this channel for a while, or you know me in person, or you've just, seen enough, you know that I have a serious obsession with monkeys. But what you may not know, if we don't go far enough back, because it's been a hot minute, is I used to collect bells. My bell collection, I don't know, it started when I was a kid, and it was just sort of something I would pick them up here, there, and wherever, anywhere I would travel to, or if my friends or family would travel, they would bring me back one. Trying to straighten this out a little bit, but anyway, it's been packed up since we moved here because there's not really a good stable place to put them, and I haven't really picked up any new bells in a long, long time. But yeah, so I drew some of my bell collection instead of the monkeys because that was worth mentioning. All right, so this was another combined one. This was distant in electronic. So I'm gonna hold this one closer because there's like a lot of detail. And I was thinking like circuit boards and like how far all those little circuits and stuff go. And so it was kind of like a neighborhood of circuit boards. And I just kind of made stuff up. I did not look up a reference or anything like that. And then up here in the corner, there's a little house with like the little Wi-Fi or whatever signal going. And yeah, that was where my brain went for the combination of those two. Then the last January prompt was Stitch. And so I drew just this, kind of like a crazy quilt. And each little piece ordered with different types of stitching, and did some like daisy chain stitching on the last piece. So this was the end of the January prompts. And even though, yes, I caught up on like 5 pages or something that Monday, I think, or maybe it was late Sunday night. I don't think I showed you these. If I did, my apologies. You're seeing them again. So that took care of the Tinker Sketch prompts. But I was having such a good time. I wanted to continue, and it was really good for me to keep, just to keep in practice, to keep using my sketchbook. And let me tell you, this sketchbook I made and started using in 2017, planning to do a layout each week. That didn't happen. I think I got like 5 or 6 weeks in, and then life happened. And then I was going to resume it in 2018, and I didn't get very far. So this sketchbook has been around for a while, and the pages, even though it's not 31, but the pages that I did use for January is the most I have put into the sketchbook in a single month. So that's kind of a cool thing. And aside from like one or two Inktobers, where I kept up with the daily drawing and posting challenges. This is the first time in a while that I have kept up with a daily or near so um, art challenge. So I was pretty proud of myself, and I liked the fact that I was keeping up with it. So when, so like a week or so ago, I saw another prompt list pop up in my feed that was through, forget which, Amanda Evanston is the originator. There's like Ink Studio, but I know that that's not quite right. Please forgive me. Anyway, it was the 28 February Flowers challenge. So they're all floral related prompts in some way, shape, or form. And I loved that idea. And so that's what I'm doing this month. And using these prompt lists, I mean, they're not carved in stone. You can go off book. You can whatever you want. And they're not even all sketchbook challenges. Like the Tinker Sketch, that was a sketchbook challenge. That was an art challenge. Whereas the 28 February Flowers, they're like you can post old work, you can post, you know, photographs, or just do something in, that is kind of inspired by the prompt or not. Just post something floral related each day of the month. So yeah, there's a lot of leeway with these. So don't feel constrained. I am focusing on my art journal because A, I want to. B, I want to continue to create uh artwork and physical artwork. That's one of my goals for this year, was to do more physical art, and doing these challenges or using these prompt lists because you hashtag them and you interact with other people who are also doing them, it kind of builds also your community. And that's another thing that's really big for me this year, is I want to build my community. I want to interact with more creative people, more artists, but also people who want to be creative. And yeah, that's just, that feels really good to me right now. So that's what I'm following. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the first four prompts from the February Flowers challenge, and point out that I'm using only like half pages in the sketchbook, so there's two prompts per page. The first one was this one over here. It was dotted, or I think, no, spotted. So I was kind of going for like a little surface patterny kind of thing. I don't know that it necessarily turned out the way I wanted, but it was a good exam. It was a good exercise. The second prompt was mint, and again, the reason I kind of stopped myself there, but the reason why I'm only doing half pages so I can fit two on it is because with all of these being floral, I can see those being more contained drawings rather than needing the whole page. And while I do still have a chunk of pages left in this sketchbook, I just want to go ahead and, make it last a little bit longer. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So yeah, the second prompt was mint. And while I do not remember the mint in my own garden bolting like this, apparently they do get these little white flowers. At least I think this is spearmint, maybe, that does. So I'll just have to pay attention this year when I replant my garden. Um, and see what the mint does, because I know mint takes over. It can be kind of like a space hog, but such is life. The third prompt was floppy, and so it kind of put me in mind of like Lily of the Valley or Snowdrops, neither of which are technically these. I mean, they could sort of look like the Animal Crossing version of Lily of the Valley. But I just love the little white droopy flowers. I love them. And then today's prompt, the fourth prompt, was wearable. I just drew a little rose boutonniere. So that's been the sketchbook business. Over here on my easel, you can sort of see that I was working on the next state painting. This is Pennsylvania's. Painting, it is not finished yet, much to my chagrin, but that whole jet lag and getting tired thing kind of kicked in. So I need to finish that this weekend. And then I also started the bare bones sketching of the New Jersey page. Yeah, there's not a lot on there yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. I had hoped to finish this Friday on the Twitch stream, but I ended up not doing the Twitch stream on Friday because I taught a crochet lesson after my normal shift. And I was looking, I thought I had the sample there, but I don't. So I had to learn to crochet private lessons set up by the folks at work. And so I sat down with a lovely young lady who wanted to learn how to crochet. And I did my best to teach her what I could in about an hour. Um, and had a lot of fun with it. But as you know, I started with a granny square because that's what I learned to make almost 40 years ago. And it served me really well. And so I thought that would be something cool and fun. And there's a lot of things you can do once you have like that basic square down. Um, so yeah, got to do that. And then, aha, I've been continuing to work on the monsoon shawl. Look how this has grown. I think I mentioned that I did a lot of this on the plane. Um, and all, but I didn't have it handy to show. But look how this is turning out, y'all. I am loving this. I'm absolutely loving the pattern. I'm loving the process. This is made with Tunisian crochet. And while I absolutely screwed up a section on like the far end over here, with the repeats, I flubbed how I was doing something and I had to kind of make it right because I really didn't want to rip out the whole thing because that was a lot of hours of work. Um yeah, I'm almost to the end of the first color. There's going to be three skeins of yarn used. I'm almost to the end of the first skein. And yeah, I love the way this is turning out. Um the little yarn over pattern that's creating like little steps like the rocks Arizona desert, and it's like I said, it's called the monsoon shawl. And yeah, so I've gotten a lot done on that. And then what else? What else? What else? What else is there? Oh, Todd has continued to work on the bathroom downstairs, finishing that up. And once again, I don't have a way to insert a picture right this second, but I will post a picture on the Instagram roundup of this week's creativity. And therefore it'll be on my Instagram page and on Facebook, on the page for the blog. So yeah, if you follow me in either of those places, again, I'm Scraps of Life just about everywhere, or Jennifer Vanderbeek. You can usually find me. You can see it there. Okay, gosh, I feel like that was a lot, and I've been talking for over 13 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it was that long, but yeah, there was a fair amount to it, wasn't there? Yeah, so that's what I've been up to this week. And as always, I do this not just because I enjoy it, but because I found that it really helps my mental health and it helps kind of keep me, you know, focused or at least focusable on things. And yeah, so I have goals regarding it. Oh, the other thing I don't really have to show for it, but I have done a considerable amount of editing on my novel, the fourth book in the Cozy Mystery series, but that's not really a visual thing. So you just have to trust me that I've done several chapters worth of proofreading and edits. But yeah, so that still continues on a pace. And yeah, so that's been my creative week. I wish you a creative week. I'd love to hear what you're up to. Again, you can tag it Our Creative Week on Instagram, and I will see it. If you want to share about it in the comments below, please let me know down there. And yeah, I just hope that you make time for it. You find and recognize your own creativity as it, as it fits into your life. And that if you're missing that, that you make a little time for it and see if it doesn't help your general outlook. Um, if you're like me, then it may help your mental health. It just might make you a happier person. And while we're never guaranteed happiness, that doesn't mean that we can't hunt for it and try and make it ourselves. All right. I will be back next week with another week of creativity to show you. Until then, bye.